And we're back, and we're going to be going over basic EQing of more than one track now, and this is called solving frequency conflict, and balancing a mix and all that fun stuff. And we have this kind of track. I'm mixing something with a very wide frequency spectrum, and here she is. Right, there's quite a bit going on in there. I'm going to start with what I feel I should start with. Usually, well, if you're working on a track, what I do personally is I start from the low end and I work my way up. So kick and bass, and then lead, and then high end, and a bunch of other stuff. So here we have it. So we're gonna work on this guy. And you can see, no shame when using an analyzer. You can see the heart of the track right here. So we're going to select a high pass filter. We're going to filter off the low end. You can see the junk is about here. So you can lower that just a tiny bit. So we're going to burn that image into our mind. Around here is where we need to repair the next the track that's also playing at the same time. So it's around the 500 hertz range. Alright, so we're going to drop another EQ in there and listen to this guy and see what we can shave off. Alright, I'm using a combination of different filters in the same spectrum. So remember, we have EQ compensation. So when we lower here, we kind of have to raise here, but slightly, with an open kind of bell curve. And here's where we get into enhanced EQ thing. We're gonna boost the high frequencies in the top end to compensate. So we'll hear that now. So here it is before and after. And now we'll play them kind of at the same time. Well, at the same time. With that high end here, it's also the heart, which I've just recently discovered. And this is your basic mixing workflow. We'll cut the high end. We can hear each sound now. It's not like a clusterfuck. We'll pan them left and right, and you can really hear it. Right? And panning's also a way to solve frequency conflict. All right, let's go to the next one. And that is basic. Well, not really basic, but that's how you would go about it. Here we have a low end, I believe. So we'll start with the low end. What the hell? Get in there. And I'll get rid of the junk frequency around here. Junk frequency is not the low end because it's a bass line. And I know I want the lead to come through here, and we'll just do that. right? And there's a lot going on in this one in terms of its frequency. So we'll low pass, because the bass is going to go in here, so we're going to let the bass come through. Right, finding the heart, right? With a bit of enhancement, and then a bit of the roll off of the high end. And then don't be afraid to turn it on and off to hear what you just did. I'm going to gently roll off the low, the bass. And if I'm feeling really adventurous, I'll boost the bass. It's all about compensation to keep the sound sounding natural, and that's how you do it. So we're using multiple filters. So this one here, bass and blip. See this one, it's mostly, it's already, everything is standing out. But what we'll do is we'll get rid of the junk and we'll enhance, and we'll do that right now. By looking at this, you can see, yeah, this is a very wide frequency. What it's taking up the entire kind of thing in an even way. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of that junk that I personally don't like. Which is about there. I'll boost the bass. Cool. Got that, I'll smooth that out. And I'll get rid of this slightly, as much as I can get away with. And then I'll high cut, or I'll cut the high, I'll roll off the high end. Right, on to our next abomination. See, there's low frequencies in this, but we can get rid of that. Right, and we can lower this, and then maybe enhance this, and let's give it a listen. So we're enhancing the EQ, and we're kind of carving it out. Changes in one band will always affect the next. So I want to enhance its second heart, which is about here, just to get a balance that I like. Right, and this is just with EQing. Typically you'd use compression too, but this is an EQing tutorial. Okay, we have something here that might hurt your ears, but whatever. Hold on, there we go, let's play it.
There's very little trust in these simple times. There's very little trust in it.
So what we'll do is we'll fix that vocal right now, because certain mics,
There's very little.
They pick up quite a bit of low. They kind of roll off the low end naturally.
There's very little.
So we need to kind of enhance this.
There's very little trust in these simple times.
So it's a female voice.
There's very little trust in these simple times. There's very little trust in it.
Right. This is a difficult example. Vocals are difficult, even for me. And I guess a lot of people do. I want to put effects on it, but I can't because this is just EQing. Right? And that's typically what I do for a bass like this. And we'll play it.
There's very little trust in these simple times. There's very little trust in these simple times.
put effects on it, but yeah, that's basic how you would solve conflict in 2 tracks at once. That's pretty much it. Rule of thumb, you're making room, you're taking away things in one and making room in another. I kind of plan ahead just from like muscle memory and like experience, but for you, it would be more challenging, I suppose. But yeah, that's basic frequency conflict solving. All right, take care.